Testing, testing. All right. Shout out to Jesse. This one's for Jesse. He needed a reminder or to be explained what put walls and call walls are. So figured it's a good idea. So, long story short, for the sake of this example, let's say that the put wall is 350 on QQQ. I'm not that aware where it currently is right now, but it's a safe bet that it's 350. Typically going to be on large whole numbers where a bunch of liquidity will be stacked. So the put wall is essentially where a lot of option strikes are concentrated to where put buyers are making good profits, they're getting paid, and they don't have to, but they are very likely to take profits there. Okay? So let's say, just for the sake of this example, let's say the put wall is 351, just because we could see what happened with the chart. Let's say 351 is the put wall. This means a lot of people will be taking their puts off for profit down here. Now, when you're selling a put, it is essentially being bought back by a market maker. And since the market maker is buying it back, he's also able to unwind his hedges in the market. So it's a little complicated to explain, but a lot of people are going to close their positions here, and it's going to allow the market to squeeze back higher. As dealers unwind their hedges, they're buying back shares. So as they're buying the shares of QQQ, obviously QQQ will go higher. So if you get a scenario where, hey, we come down near the put wall, people are covering puts, and people are buying calls. When people buy calls, dealers have to also buy shares. When people are selling their puts, they can also buy shares, also known as covering their shorts. So, as you can imagine, there's pretty much a reflexive effect had in the market. So that's the put wall. People are going to be covering their puts at the put wall, not buying puts, covering as in selling. So now let's say, let's do the opposite side of this equation. Let's say the call wall. I know the call wall was 360. It was 360 when it was in here. So at or above 360. So let's say 360 was the call wall. Could it have been 56, 56? Okay, let's say it was. This is where people will be in profit with their options and want to start taking off their calls. So when you're selling your calls into the open market, that means the dealers can start selling their shares as well, since they don't have to be hedged. Now, when you have dealers selling shares, people taking profit on calls, eventually, with enough volume, the market's going to get pushed down, which is what would happen in this theoretical example. Market would come down, and then, we're at the put wall. People are going to cover their puts. Market's going to go up. It's a pretty simple concept. People who don't understand it usually are just lost on what it really means, because it can be deceptive.